Welcome to the Hollywood Hype Room, the place where real stories, surprising truths, and unforgettable stars take center stage. You know their faces, you've heard their voices. But what if I told you, you probably missed the beginning of their story? In Hollywood, we're obsessed with overnight success. But some of the most famous stars didn't peak in their 20s or even their 30s. They were late starters, people who worked hard for years before finally getting noticed. Today we're sharing the stories of 10 amazing actors whose early careers stayed hidden and how they finally stepped into the spotlight. Get ready for surprising facts, unexpected turns, and proof that it's never too late to shine. If you like stories that break the usual Hollywood rules and highlight real talent, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Number 10. Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane here.
You know, Nathan Lane is the funny, high-energy star of The Birdcage and The Producers. But if you look back, you'll find a man working hard in New York theaters for many years. Before he became well-known, Lane was a regular on Broadway. He had skill, perfect timing, and charm, but outside theater, most people didn't know his name. He didn't get a big Hollywood role until his late 30s. And when he finally did, he often played characters his own age or older, so audiences never saw him as a young new star. When the world noticed him, he was already an experienced actor. A reminder that sometimes your big moment comes after years of quiet effort. He also voiced Timon in Disney's The Lion King, which introduced him to millions of younger viewers and added another level of success to his career.
Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
Number 9. Jessica Tandy. Jessica was 80 when she won the Oscar for Best Actress in Driving Miss Daisy. To many people, she seemed like a new star, but they didn't see the 50 years of hard work before that. She started in theater and played big roles early on. In 1947, she was the first actress to play Blanche Dubois in A Streetcar Named Desire on Broadway. But when Hollywood made the movie, they gave the part to someone younger. For years, she played small parts, mothers, teachers, older women. Only in the 1980s and 90s did she get the attention she truly deserved. Her story shows that real talent always finds its place, even if it takes time. She also starred in Cocoon and Fried Green Tomatoes, both of which became beloved classics and helped cement her late career fame. Number 8. Judi Dench. Today, Dame Judi Dench is known around the world for her powerful acting. But she didn't become truly famous until she was in her 60s. She worked in British theater for decades and appeared in some movies and TV shows, but most people outside the UK didn't know her. Then in 1995, everything changed. She played M in the James Bond movie GoldenEye, and suddenly the whole world paid attention. After that, she became a regular in award-winning dramas. She won her first Oscar at 64. Her career proves that sometimes your best years come later in life. In fact, her Oscar win for Shakespeare in Love lasted just 8 minutes on screen, proving even the smallest roles can leave a huge impact when done with excellence. Number 7. Ethel Merman. When people talk about Broadway legends, Ethel Merman is always on the list. Her loud, bold voice made her unforgettable.
Plymouth Rock, Portland, on there.
But unless you love theater history, you may not know about her early film work. She started acting in movies in the 1930s, but those films didn't make her a big star. It wasn't until the 1950s and 60s that more people really got to know her. Her most famous role was in the musical Gypsy, which she did in her 50s. Even then, she was often cast as older women. Her story shows that it's not always about looks, it's about being powerful and unforgettable. She became so well known for her stage presence that people joked you didn't need a microphone when Ethel Merman sang. Her voice could fill a whole theater on its own. Number 6. James Earl Jones. You know the voice, Darth Vader, Mufasa, deep, strong, and full of meaning. But how often have you seen his face? For many fans, James Earl Jones is more of a legend than someone they recognize in movies.
Darker voice, and not in terms of ethnic, but in terms of timbre. And the rumor is that he thought of Orson Welles
He didn't get a big movie role until his 30s. Before that, he worked in theater. When he started acting in films, he often played wise or serious characters. One of his first major roles was in The Great White Hope, where he showed just how strong and talented he was. But it was his voice work that made him truly famous. He showed that power and greatness don't depend on age or looks. Despite struggling with a stutter as a child, he went on to become one of the most celebrated voice actors of all time, showing that challenges can lead to your greatest strengths. Number 5. Bea Arthur. Quick question. Have you ever felt like you were just not what people expected, but you knew deep down you had something special? Bea Arthur's story might sound familiar. With her serious humor and bold personality, Bea Arthur became a TV legend in shows like Maude and The Golden Girls. But before she became a star on television, she worked on Broadway. Her early roles proved she had great timing and a strong stage presence, but she didn't fit Hollywood's idea of a typical star. Instead of changing herself, she stayed true to who she was. Her most famous characters were older, wiser, and sharp-tongued. And that's exactly what made her stand out. She even served in the Marine Corps during World War II, something many fans never knew about this bold and fearless actress. Number 4. Jerry Stiller. Yes, he's Ben Stiller's dad, but Jerry Stiller had his own path to fame. He and his wife Ann Mira were a well-known comedy team. Still, most people didn't know his name until he played George's dad on Seinfeld. He was in his 60s when that happened. His loud voice and funny anger made him a favorite. It took a long time, but once he became famous, he stayed that way. He later appeared in The King of Queens and several of his son's films, proving that his comedic style was timeless and loved by all generations. Number 3. Elaine Stretch. Before we move on, if you're enjoying these inspiring stories, tap that like button. It really helps us share more stories like this. Elaine Stretch worked in theater for more than 60 years, but to many young people, she was the tough, funny mom on 30 Rock. Before that, she had built a huge name in Broadway. Her voice, timing, and bold attitude made her unforgettable. When she finally appeared more on screen, she was already a legend. She didn't become well known to everyone until later in life, but she was always one of a kind. She also had a one-woman show called Elaine Stretch at Liberty, which won her an Emmy and brought her story to a whole new generation. Number 2. Carol Channing. Carol Channing's wide smile and big voice made her a Broadway star. She starred in Hello, Dolly and other big shows, but movie and TV viewers didn't see her much until the 1960s when she was already in her 40s. She kept performing well into her 90s, always with the same energy. Her story reminds us that some stars never fade. They shine even brighter with age. She became known not just for her voice and energy, but for inspiring younger performers to stay true to themselves no matter what. Number 1. Angela Lansbury. Angela is most famous for Murder, She Wrote, which she started when she was almost 60, but before that, she had already been nominated for 3 Oscars and won 4 Tony Awards. Still, many people didn't know her name until her hit TV show. Her style was never about being young, it was about being smart, kind, and powerful, and she kept getting better with time. She also voiced Mrs. Potts in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, adding warmth and magic to one of the studio's most loved films. So, what do all these stars have in common? They didn't become famous at 20, they weren't young crushes or teen idols. They were hard workers, artists, survivors in a business that often forgets people over 40, and still, they made it, not by being trendy, but by being real. So if you've ever felt like you're too late, remember their names: Nathan Lane, Jessica Tandy, Judi Dench, James Earl Jones, and many more. They prove that it's never too late to shine. Whether you're starting out or restarting, remember, age doesn't define your story. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments which star inspired you most. Let's keep honoring the legends who remind us that success doesn't have a deadline.